Hello to everybody. How you doing? Let's see who's with me. I'm gonna give people a few minutes. Something that we all want to be about. So, good evening to everyone. Just checking if there's a bit of sweat here. It's been one of those days. So, anybody who's with me, give me a shout. Where you joining me from? Give me a name. Where you joining me from? How are you guys doing, ladies and gentlemen? Or as our most famous meme in Zambia said, Reds and Gentrymen. Okay. I'm going to give this a few minutes to talk about this whole 12 weeks journey. And for those of you who'd wish to join. Okay. Hello, Sophie. How are you doing? Okay. So, as I said, anybody who's with us, give us your name. Give us your name and your location. Wow, Nicolette. That is a name I haven't seen in so long. How are you doing? Oh, wow. I didn't realize I'm on my LinkedIn. Okay. All right. So, well, I guess we'll have everyone here. Hi, Sophie. Yes, from Lusaka. Home sweet home. We're here. All right. I'm just going to give this a couple more minutes before we just maybe 1 or 2 minutes before I kind of get into the crux of all of this and share this. But everybody, give me a shout. How you doing? Mufaweli from Kitwe, my birthplace. Kitwe is my birthplace. Solwezi. Thank you, Nicolette, for joining me. That is an old friend from school, from back in those days. Thanks. Yes, and one of the reasons we're on LinkedIn actually is because there was a Forbes thing that actually there was a Forbes article that actually pointed out that LinkedIn is going to become a lot more personal because of the blurred lines between work and personal life. Because of the whole work from home dynamic and the online world, work and personal life has become a very blurred line. So LinkedIn is going to be a lot more personal. So here we are, even on LinkedIn. All right. So I did say I was going to get this started. So for those of you who join us a little bit later, thank you very much. And for those of you who join us now, thank you for actually joining me here. And I hope you're actually able to take something from this. This is part of what we call planning. This session has been a lot of planning. I've been meeting with a lot of people and doing a lot of their plans, their wealth plans, of looking through everything. And this year was kind of a big one for me. Just to give everyone a little background, I think some of you who've been following my journey, especially over last year was what we call an up and down year. You know, there was a lot of highs in building the brand, building Bond Education, building my investment advisory service, starting to expand out into a lot more people, passing the 1,000 mark in terms of people who've been our advisory clients, and trying to aim for that whole million millionaires march in Zambia as part of being the wealth industry, especially having been in capital markets for so long. You know, a lot of what happened last year and the year before last, especially this whole thing of pushing myself, especially 2020 and 2021, of pushing myself to be more of an advisor in this space, and actually just leaping out and being stronger in it, was part of a journey of recognizing a gift I had in this area and accepting the needs that people had in it. When people would constantly ask me about things like the bond market, ask me about the stock market, ask me about capital markets, how to invest, what are asset markets, how do I get in there, and just getting people that starting point, unit trust, which ones to navigate through. I understood that I had 12 years of experience in this industry for a reason, and I've had education in it, and I've had a background in it, and everything for a reason. I actually accepted that point and realized that for some reason I was running away from a destiny. I felt like Noah in the Bible, where he was running away from his calling to go to Nineveh, and God keeps on pulling me in this direction until last year. Until 2021, I just decided that, you know what, the rest, I need to start doing this more seriously. And what it's led to an expansion, which has given me, a big vision of what I want to do in my industry, and it's given me a lot of hope and energy. But I think, as many people know, last year was really tough. Last year was really, really tough. Not industry wise. I think professionally it was beautiful. Last year professionally was wonderful. Personally, it was one of the most painful years I've ever been through in my life. And then it also marked the end of an era, turning 35. For those who know, your life moves into 0 to 14, 15 to 35, 35 to 55, 55 to about 75, and then you go into the final phase. So there's kind of phases, these 20-year phases. But first, it's that first 15-year phase of being alive and trying to get to your life. And then there's this 20-year youth phase, which you go through, of being 15 to 35. Statistically, you're actually youth from 15 to 34, 35. And then 35, you're now statistically an adult. And, losing someone so important in my life, while simultaneously hitting that landmark, was a big thing. And it made me rethink life. It made me just see things a lot differently. It made me really start to question my existence. You know, it did make me, sorry, it did make me start to question my existence, and it was tough, but it was a challenge I had to face. Um, Very, very tough. So personally, going through that dichotomy of funding professionally while battling personally was really something else. And coming out of it, my 35th birthday, I decided that this phase of my life, these next 20 years of my life, are going to be what I call expand and multiply. To take everything I've been through and everything that is the foundation of my life, these 20 years, the good, the bad, the painful, the ugly. Hello, Gladys. Thank you for joining us. Good evening, Mapenzi and everyone. And to take all of it, the good, the bad, and ugly, and to just now make the best of it, and to go to a destiny that's been put in my heart. If not for myself, if not for my creator, even for the person who believed in me the most, who I unfortunately lost, the person who believed in me the most, especially in that field, in that area. So that's really a big part of this whole thing. So that's what this whole conversation about, the first 12 weeks, the first quarter, the first 3 months of the year, and what that means to me, because this is 35, this is going into year 36. This is the first year of the expanded model. For some reason. Okay. Right. Sorry. For some reason, we're just having a bit of trouble. But we've made politics into the god of our lives, instead of making it part of the system, but instead we've made it the driving force of our lives. Now, our president and our politicians can do whatever. They can do good, they can do bad. But I've decided that as a person, I have to be successful in what I do, regardless of who is president, regardless of who's in power, regardless of who wins an election. My job in life is to succeed at the things that I have been called to do, regardless. of who's at the top. So that's what this whole part is about. Now, the whole point, yes, sound has actually come back. Sorry about that. Thanks, Danny. Now, the whole point of all of this is that there is something that has been that I actually came across 2 years ago called the Fidelity Holistic, or 3 years ago actually, called the Fidelity Holistic Life Equation, which basically looked at the difference between happy millionaires and sad millionaires. That's the big thing. Happy millionaires and sad millionaires. And they found that the people who actually get to enjoy their wealth in life are the people who take care of many parts of their life. They don't just focus on the money part and sacrifice their family, sacrifice their health, sacrifice their well-being. They actually focus on everything. They treat it as this balanced equation that allows them to enjoy the very wealth that they build. And whatever success you build, it is important for us to start working on the very areas. So the purpose of these first 12 weeks is based on the principle that momentum is the number one force throughout life. Momentum is what is going to get us everywhere. It's what gets us through every problem. And it's about building momentum. And it's exactly what I did last year. When I faced loss, I got up about a month or two afterwards and I built momentum. And I realized the force of actually building momentum and what it actually did to help me get through pain, help me get above it, and help me actually get to a point of success in some points, and a point of actually getting a name out there and actually building a brand. And that's what I'm going to continue doing. Now I've built a brand, it's time to grow a brand. And it's time to grow a mission, to grow a community in this mission. So the first 12 weeks basically signals momentum building, the force of momentum building. So these first 12 weeks, the first thing I had to do was, number one, understand my fears. What am I afraid of not being? What am I afraid of failing at? What are my fears? The fears of inaction. What are the things I'm afraid of? What are the things if I was 85? Now, here's the problem with fear. There's two kinds of fear, which I had to kind of grapple with. There's today's fear, which will tell me not to do anything, fear of failure. Then there's fear of actually not having done anything by the end of my life. There's basically fear of wasting my life. So these two fears have been battling each other. So I've actually had to now start to grapple with the fact that the most important fear is the fear of turning 80, 90, or actually getting closer to my deathbed and not having achieved what's in my heart, not having achieved the things that are important, or at least tried to, not having at least given it the hardcore try, at least. So I've actually seen that's very important. The second thing I've had to do is I've had to look at what I've had to ask myself, the 3 L's question that I keep pushing to everybody. What is your lineage? What is your legacy, your legend, and your lineage? Like, what do I want to leave behind? What memory of myself do I want to leave behind in this country, to the people who are watching right now, the people in my life, the people who I've served? What memory do I want to leave behind? What things do I want to leave behind? What assets? What businesses? What buildings? What brands? What other things I want to leave behind? And finally, who are the people I want to leave behind to continue everything I've gotten started? These are big questions. These are existential questions, and I've had to grapple with existential questions because I'm going to be honest with you. When you go every month and you visit a grave of a loved one, you will ask existential questions. You will start to battle with existential questions in life. And I think this is one thing a lot of people don't do. They don't deal with the existential questions of life. They kind of just move along, and then 85 hits them or 75 hits them, or even retirement age comes and creeps up on them, and they realize they haven't done anything. So these are the two things I've done. I've looked at the fear of not fulfilling, but then I've also looked at what is my existential questions? What do I want to answer? What do I want to leave behind? So these two things are pushing and pulling at me. And that's what's driven me. And that's what's driven me to this point of the beginning of the year. Obviously, I gave myself a few weeks to kind of just calm my mind. But the beginning of the year is to actually create a momentum building process. And the momentum building process is simply where I have looked at goals I want to achieve in an inter-year format. First, I started with my legacy, my legend, my legacy and my lineage. Then I went down to where do I want to be in 5 years when it comes to that legend, lineage, and legacy? Where do I want to be in the year 2028? What do I want to see in my life, in the areas of my business? What do I want to see in my life, in my finances? What do I want to see in my life, in my spirituality? It's a very important part of me. It guides my thoughts. What do I want to see in my life physically? What do I want to look like? How do I want to feel physically? How healthy do I want to be? What do I want to see in my life in terms of my mind, my flourish? So I've looked at these areas of my life, and I said, where do I want to be in the next 5 years? And those are the questions I've had to battle with, and then I've had to break it down into what are the targets then for this year, and break it down into habits. So my goal for these next 12 weeks is I have given myself five habits, okay, five positive habits in these areas of my life. My faith, okay, five habits, about 3 to 5 habits, sorry, 3 to 5 habits in my faith, and I'm looking at them right now. In my area of faith, okay, things I want to practice in faith. What do I want to wake up and do every day and week when it comes to faith? Okay. Uh, Also, I'm looking at my work. How many hours do I want to make sure I've achieved at certain things? What are the things I can do? And the mindset I've gone into, especially with faith and work and all these goals, is I'm going to focus strictly on things I can do something about, not things I can't do something about. So I've got about 3 to 5 goals in my area of faith, in my focus. What are the areas I want to achieve, and what are the habits I need to enact? People, there's no use putting goals to things if you do not put a habit to it. There must be a daily, weekly, or monthly habit attached to every single goal. And that is what you have to put your head and focus on. Just selecting the right habit and getting started with it. So I've been selecting habits that I want to see. I've also put 3 to 5 goals in my finance. Where do I want to be? What do I need to do to be there? Okay. What are the habits I need to instill? So it's faith, focus, which is my work, my finance, fitness. I've actually even joined, I don't know if some of you are even here, maybe, but I've actually even joined a morning fitness group on Zoom, just to make sure that I've got accountability to wake up and to do things. I mean, it's a goal I've been trying to achieve. So it's something I'm going to focus on because it's really important, because I have come to the realization, and many of us don't, is that everything in our lives sits on this whole thing called fitness and health. Okay, whether it's your money, your family, everything. The moment your fitness and your health is shaky, your job is gone, your business is gone, your money is gone, your family is going to struggle. The moment that doesn't work out, everything else struggles. So it's a priority now. It's actually a huge priority if I'm going to expand and multiply, to make sure I get that part fixed. And then finally, and then in the other area, I'm also going to focus on my friends and family section. Personally, I've just put that aside because there are wounds in there that I just need to heal. I just need to let that part kind of rest for a bit, because I like I said, having to start again in that area is a bit difficult at the moment. So I've just accepted that one I'm going to leave be, and I don't have much control of I can have over it. But I'm going to focus on my flourish. What books do I want to read? So that's areas where I'm reading books. I've got my reading list of books, and I have to read 10 pages every single day. Okay. I've given myself a goal of reading 10 pages of the books that I'm going through every single day, at least a minimum of it. I've also got 30 minutes of training in a skill. I'm also teaching myself a language. I'm on a mission to learn Swahili every single day. I'm doing a Swahili. I'm on Duolingo learning Swahili for about 5 to 10 minutes every single day, just to make sure that I build a habit on it, and to just keep learning and exposing myself to it. So this is some of the things I'll do, and I'll share some of these goals that I'm looking at. For example, in my faith, I've given myself a goal of reading 10 verses of scripture and studying them every single day, praying twice a day, fasting once a week, things like that. These are things that I have to actually do because I'm building momentum. Now, the purpose of these 12 weeks is to make sure that there is a checklist of activities that I need to focus on. Okay. Everything else now shuts out. Social media, I know that I'm on social media right now, but even that is going to take a tone down. Activities such as weekend activities and frolicking and fun life and all that, that has to take a real backseat. And this is like a serious issue, like a family member or something, or like you have to go to. But even those things, you have to shut those things down in this period. I have to shut down music that I love, but it may not have the right influence on me. It may instill the wrong kinds of thoughts. So certain types of music, I kind of have to switch off. TV shows, those kind of things. I'm just really focused on where I want to be, and I'm just focusing on building myself better, building my business, and really building my relationship with God. These are the three areas: working on myself, my business, and my relationship with God. These are the three areas of my life that I want to see motion in, because I actually see that that is where the momentum comes building. So every Monday, instead of this just being like a teaching lesson, every Monday I'm going to come here into this space at around 8:30, around this time, and just tell you how my week has been and share it with you. And I'd like to ask as many of you if you'd like to join me. This is an extension to people. If you'd like to join me in taking 12 weeks, so the first thing you have to do is look at your areas in terms of your faith, whatever you believe in. Okay, my belief is with God. Whatever you believe in, that's your that's your thing. Faith, focus, which is your work life, focus, finance, fitness, family, and flourish. Your mind, your soul. What are you doing to enhance it? What are you doing to improve it? These are the things that you really have to. Those are the areas. I want you to list 3 to 5 goals that you'd like to have, and also attach to it a small habit, something that you can do every day, week, or month, attached to it, and score yourself. Because I'm actually going to give myself a nice little scoring sheet, and I'm going to share it with you people, because this is a public journey. I want to share with people. It's not easy, because it's really important. And I believe that if I can get this year going, because I have marked it as a special year, there are reasons I've marked it as a special year. I marked it when I was 23 when I started working in Zambia. It's 2023 when I've now marked my journey to greatness. And 23 is the magic number of Michael Jordan. So I call it the number of greatness, 23. So if anybody wants to join this 2023 12-week journey, it starts today. Okay. And every Monday, I'll be sharing bits and pieces. We'll be sharing encouragement about it. And look at your areas, and also look at your areas, because if you want to enjoy your wealth, this is the important part. If you want to enjoy your wealth, if you really want to have enjoyment of the wealth you build, the money you save, the investments, everything you do, if you really want to enjoy it, you have to work on all the other areas of your life. There's nothing to it. You go and make $1 million or $2 million in wealth, and then you're in the hospital so many times that you can't even enjoy it. You can't eat at nice restaurants because you got gastric problems or diabetes or all these things, and you're stuck with these things, or you're not able to manage it. These are the struggles. You've built all this wealth, but you've damaged your body in the process. You've built all this wealth, and you've damaged your family in the process. You've built all this wealth, and you've damaged you've damaged your relationship with God, and you're worried about eternity. You're petrified of dying. So these are the things that you really want to build, these other areas. And there's something even about the wealth journey that the people who work in the various areas of their life really tend to focus on these areas pretty strong. So that's just what I wanted to share here today. You're free to give me your comments. What do you think? Do you want to join? Give me a hands up now or a thumbs up. If you want to be part of this, I will share some material. Also, just a quick little sheet that you'll be able to do. It's a simple PDF I pretty much put together that you'll be able to look at for your 12-week journey in order to just mark what you want to do. And if you want to really try and work on it as well. So give me a thumbs up if you want to be a part of it, and I'll share the links. I'll start sharing the first link tomorrow morning for everybody and get everyone into the right frame of mind. If you want to achieve what you want to achieve, president's not going to do much for it. You're going to do it. You're going to wake up and do it. You're going to save and invest what you need to invest for your wealth. No one's going to save and invest for you. They can promise it to you, but on the day it comes, they're probably going to default. If you want to be happy, you're going to have to be happy. If you want to be in better shape, you're going to have to do what you want to do to be in better shape. If You're gonna if you wanna be at a better workplace, if you wanna learn how to sell more. I'm reading a sales book. I'm reading Susan's other sales books and her content creation books to make sure that I can be a better salesperson, that I can also handle content creation better. I can handle content management better. So I'm reading stuff to try and help me in there. I'm taking courses to try and help me in these areas. So if you really want to join in on making yourself better and making yourself the steward of your life, because God isn't going to ask the president what you did with your life. God is going to ask you what you did with your life, the time that he gave you. So to everyone here, like I said, give me your comments, and I'm seeing a few thumbs up here. I'm encouraging as many of you to take these next 12 weeks. And the 12 weeks will close, and I'm just getting my calendar out here. But the 12 weeks, which are this month, we will be set to close. I'm going to close it on a Sunday. It basically closes on the Sunday, but the 12 weeks will close at the end of March. So that's when we're going to have our closing date. Our 12 weeks will close on the 2nd of April, effectively. So from now until the 2nd of April, it's all about focus and momentum. If you can get as strong as you want. Now, just another piece of advice: when you're doing checklists of things that you want to achieve during this period, it is not about getting 100% score. It's just about trying to be consistent. If you miss a date or you mess up here, don't do it twice. That's all. The only rule is don't mess up more than twice. Okay, you can mess up 1, 2, but never build a habit of doing something bad 3 times. The other thing also you need to challenge yourself in this period is, what are your weaknesses? What are your habits? What are your bad habits? And I also want you to start looking at how to knock out your bad habits, how to fight against your bad habits, because most of your problems are coming from your bad habits, whether it's overindulgences, whether it's going out too much. So during this period, obviously, if you're going to be on this 12 weeks, you're going to have to cut off all negative influences. Okay. Just another thing, you're going to have to cut off every single negative influence that you know. It could be music, it could be shows you watch, it could be bad material, it could be bad friends, man. You got to take this period to even cut some people out your life, just to get some focus in the right area, because right now your life determines by you. It's not about the people who you're trying to accommodate. It's really going to be determined by you. So if you want to get your focus right, you're going to have to cut out these people. Then, as much as I'd like to also do this is a time I'd like to encourage everyone, just to also remind you that if you are one of my Bonducation investors and one of the people who follow me, you got to make sure that if you want to also build your wealth, you've got to make sure you hit the first 3 investment cycles. You've got to make sure you hit the first 3 investment cycles. These 3 give you the momentum to go to the whole 12. Okay, so these months of investment cycles, you've got to make sure you hit them without even blinking. Okay, so everything is about getting through these 12 weeks. Every 4 weeks, there'll be an investment to make. There's the 52-week money challenge. There's a savings that we have to do every single week. Let's get some of these fundamentals right. So if you're going to be in the finance space, please also look out for your investing activity, your investment education, and also the 52-week money challenge, your savings that you're doing every single week. Let's look at making sure we can hit some of those markers as well to get our lives moving forward. So everyone here, in as much as I say it again, in as much as our president and everybody can talk about moving the country forward, nothing counts if you don't move your own life forward. So to everybody, let's get these areas. So tonight, I just want everybody to take a moment and just get a piece of paper and a pen and just write down. And I want someone write this in the comment section so that I know that you've picked it up. Write down 1 to 5, that's a 3 to 5 goals in your faith. So let's write faith, focus, finance, faith, focus, finance, fitness, family, flourish. These are the 6 F's you want to cover. Okay. So just write 3 to 5 things that you need to do. And next to those goals, write 3 to 5 habits. Write the habits that follow those goals. What do you need to do to make this work? Okay. So what do you need to do? So let's write them down again: faith, focus, finance, fitness, family, flourish. Say it one more time: faith, focus, which is your work, finance, fitness, family, flourish. Okay. Work on those areas. And let's start tomorrow. And I'll share something with everyone that you can try and use to track it. It's what I've just built for myself, something very simple to try and track it. Make these things simple. Don't make them complicated. Make them simple. Simplify your goals, people. Simplify your actions. When it comes to habits, make them simple. Okay? Make it very, very simple. Don't worry about how it looks to other people. Just make it simple. Okay, so we've taken about 30 minutes of your time. I really want to look after people's time, and I want to thank every single person for sharing 30 minutes with me of your life. It's very precious to me. I understand how valuable your time is. Go out there and think about where we want to be. Please, and I will be, as I said, I'll be sharing things regularly with you. Please look out for, as I said, look out for material. And join me every Monday as we do this. There are 12 things, and I'll tell you my challenges, and I want you to share some of your challenges. And if you want to inbox me things that you're struggling with in these areas, questions you want to ask me as well, because I want to see as many of you and see how many of us can do it. Even if just a few of us do it, it means the world. That's a whole lot of lives changed. So to everyone, thanks. Have a wonderful evening. God bless every single one of you. Peace out. See you soon.